As you're aware, guys, I am big into like the Star Trek lit universe or literary universe, and I talk about that quite a bit on the channel here, in addition to what we do with the TV show and the like. And I think it really does offer a nice, expansive world with a lot of cool stuff. I really love like Peter David's New Frontier. I really love a lot of the Deep Space Nine continuation early on, and of course a lot of original series novels as well. So there's a couple of resources out there I just want to go through because it's really like a confusing thing. Like, where do I start reading? What do I do? And that's a great question. And it depends on what you like, of course. So that's what we'll have today. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Join us as we talk about all things Trek. And I appreciate you guys being here. Merry Christmas. I know it's the day after Christmas, but it is still kind of the season. So here is The Stars Entwined. If you like Star Trek books, if you like Star Trek in general, I think you'll really enjoy my series. So I'm a sci-fi writer myself, and I was very, very inspired. My first book I ever read in science fiction at all was The Captain's Daughter by also Peter David, which elaborated on the Enterprise B, which I really, really liked because like there wasn't much about the Enterprise B after Star Trek Generations. We just had that brief moment, and we knew that everything was going to arrive on Tuesday. Well, Tuesday finally came, and they had an adventure where they actually kind of showed what happened with that, and actually kind of the backstory of just like Hikaru Sulu and the like. And it was really, really good. So that got me into reading, and it got me into science fiction, and that eventually kind of came to this. So I've got a full trilogy. I think if you enjoy Star Trek, like I said, you'll enjoy this. It's very much in the Deep Space Nine, Babylon 5 kind of category of things, and it's in the description below. I've got a full trilogy. If you got Amazon gift cards, it's a great time. Support our channel and start reading today. It's available on ebook, print, and audio, all three, to make it easy for you. And I appreciate everybody for reading. So let's get into these resources. The first thing I have, which I'll put both these links in the description below as well, is the almighty Star Trek Litverse reading order flowchart. Now, I've put this up on the channel before, and I've shown a lot of people in my circles this before. I love this flowchart. So this is the Litverse. Now, the Litverse is all about continuing the series after Star Trek Nemesis. So, like, where does everything go? And there's a lot, right? You can see it looks like that flow chart. You know when Charlie's doing the conspiracy on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. That's what it looks like here. But you don't really have to read all of it. Like I've gone through, and as I zoom in on this, like if I just wanted to read Deep Space Nine backstory, like I've read all of this, right? And then if I just want to read the Deep Space Nine continuation, you could see like this little chunk like all kind of ties in together as Garrick and the Cardassians. So pretty neat. A Stitch in Time is one of the best Star Trek novels, period. If you've never read that, well, good luck finding a copy, but you can get the ebook or the audiobook. Actually, Andrew Robinson, who plays Garrick, does the audiobook, which makes it cool. And there's a couple other things that tie in with the Cardassians. You kind of learn what's happening with the Cardassians after post Deep Space Nine. Pretty cool. Then this one, of course, deals with some Klingons, the Left Hand of Destiny, which ties into a series they made, which is really good too. But again, you don't really need the Cardassian stuff to understand this. This is more about the Klingons and Worf afterwards. And so the IKS Gorkon is a ship that is it's a unique new ship. It kind of starts in the Next Generation novel Diplomatic Implausibility, but it also ties in with the Left Hand of Destiny. The Brave and the Bold crossover, it does get referenced there. And then it goes into this series where it's its own ship, and you just have this own deep lore Klingon ship, which is really, really cool. So there's a lot of different routes you can go and a lot of different things you can check out. They've actually got the Enterprise B here. There's only 3 Enterprise B novels, which is pretty wild. Like, like that's a big unexplored era. Which they could really get into, and that's something pretty interesting. A couple Excelsior novels as well. They don't have the George Takei did these audio dramas of the Excelsior in the 90s as well, which are interesting to look at. But you can look at all this stuff, and you can see this lit flowchart can give you a spot where, depending on what your interest is, I've given a few different deals. You can get Captain Picard on the Stargazer back in the day. Vanguard's an original series sort of spin-off with its own ship as well. You can just follow the TNG yourself. There's also a Titan line, which is when Commander Riker takes over the Titan. There's all sorts of Voyager after they come home. It's all here, and it all gets lined up in a way that you can kind of just go down one flow chart and then check out what you want to check out if you do things that way. It's a very nice way to get that post continuity right there. But that's not the only possible reading order, because there's way more Star Trek books than this. And so there's another website called StarTrekLitverse.com, which is run by a great guy, by the way. He has a Patreon to like update this stuff and get it all going. Really, really cool. So again, he's got it all laid out by interest here. And you can see, so if you want just the original series, we went over other stuff. The original series is something that can go through, and you don't even know where to start. So he has, the way that he does this is he's got different colors on here. So if you go and look at the colors, it talks about it here. Dark blue denotes the works most closely linked to the lit verse. So, like, after they decided to do a shared continuity and make it more continuity oriented. Read any or all of these to expand the original series from the lit verse's perspective. Light blue is a more expanded storyline. The dark green is the original lit verse from back in the day. Light green denotes the DC Comics continuity. So we actually included all the comics in this too, which interconnected with the original lit verse novels. And then many stories cross between two or more of these categories. And the categories themselves, in the case of the original series, is very flexible. There's not a ton of continuity here. White denotes every other connected story regardless of continuity. So he puts them pretty much in order. Now, he doesn't go through and what I'd like him to add to this is actually put years on it. Would be pretty nice. But if you look at the start here, these are books that take place kind of before the original series. So you can get into here. The Captain's Oath kind of takes place when Kirk is on the Farragut. And My Brother's Keeper is the very, very beginning of the original series, where it's like right after Where No Man Has Gone Before, and before the man trap there, before everybody kind of gets in there. And so you can see there's this whole spot here that works for this. And let's see, I thought they had a pre-original series. Oh, so he moved it. He moved some stuff from the original series where it is Captain Pike and Strange New Worlds. Now, some of this doesn't tie into Strange New Worlds. Like, they did a Captain Pike thing called Early Voyages, which was a comic before. And so you can go through and like learn all the Captain Pike era through this, right? And a lot of it kind of contradicts Strange New Worlds, which, you know, is another story because, of course, they didn't really follow continuity very well in Strange New Worlds, but that's it. But the original series really does start here. And so I actually went through, and I'm up through Landing Party right here. I actually read all the Captain Pike era stuff first, and my next read will be the Janus Gate as I go through the original series. But you can also just kind of scroll through and figure out like where do we go after like the movie era and the like, right? So if we go into let's see, the Voyage Home, it's about right here. So everything after Star Trek 4 will be right here, and there's not a ton of different books in that era for the Enterprise A era either. You see Ashes of Eden, Shadows on the Sun are kind of the last ones out there. The last roundup is supposed to really be the last one, and then you've got these autobiography books as well. But this goes through the original series very comprehensively, and they have every book on here that exists for Star Trek, which is really, really cool. And it does it for everything. The Next Generation, as you can see, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, Enterprise, Discovery, Picard. There's a whole world to explore here. So this is a great resource, and they also do it for you like this. So if you a simple suggested reading list, if you just want something simple and just like a few books for the era, here's the top 10 5-year missions novels that they talk about, and this is just his top 10, right? Top 10 movie era novels, for example, the 20 novel version. So if you want to go into 20, just get 20 books. This is a great suggested reading for people to start, and that's why I say there's a nice like sort of start era. And in every category, there's a click here for a suggested reading order list, and that's pretty awesome to look at here. So let's look at Next Generation, same thing. And we have a suggested reading list for, here's 10 series era, 10 post-Nemesis novels. And as you can see, that's pretty cool. So this is a great site, treklitverse.com, and those are your Star Trek helpers right there. And I hope you enjoy them. So please hit the like, subscribe button. What are you reading? Have you been reading any Star Trek novels lately? Let me know. And if you like my thoughts on books and the like, check out The Stars Entwined. It's in the description below. Thanks, guys, for reading. We'll be back soon.